Welcome to another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Marco, with my lovely co-host,
Jessica.
How's it going, Jessica?
It's good. How are you, Marco?
I'm all right.
Okay, good.
It was another week.
It was a week.
It's the
Whole
countdown
week.
to Christmas week. Oh, we made it through. The kids had to go virtual for a few days.
Yep, after Thanksgiving.
You know, it's that Thanksgiving buffer they put in. After they've been in person all fall, and out of abundance of caution, they decided to just have the kids were off for Thanksgiving from school and then stay out for 3 extra days just in case. Gave them that 1 week buffer and they went back Thursday.
Yeah.
Although part of me is like, you know what? Just out of, in terms of routine and everything, might as well gone. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved having to go back so like I could get some work done Thursday and Friday, but for out of routine, it's like, why don't we just like keep them home Thursday and Friday? That's a full week.
That's
then
what
they
I
get the
thought.
weekend. That's an extra 4 days and then go back Monday, but whatever. They went back. It's, you know, you can argue it either way. I can argue it either way with myself. We can make a whole podcast out of that. We won't. That's not this episode. But having all three home, you know, and I was running multiple computers for work. And then we had kid one was up on her laptop up in her room, plus playing on her phone, texting her friends. Mm-hmm. And then we had kids 2 and 3 on laptops in the kitchen.
I heard kid 4 was really upset that she didn't also have a laptop.
No, she was on a tablet. Actually, she was on 3 tablets simultaneously. One was streaming TV or videos on YouTube or something, and then she was playing games simultaneously.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good to be kid 4.
Yeah. The Academy of Pediatrics are like really nailing, 2020 is their year in terms of screen time with kids.
Yeah. It's fine.
And then just so I was on the same floor with them, I was on a laptop, but I was around the corner in another room so I could try to get some work done. It was rough. But better than the old school because it was very regimented, very scheduled. It was even the second grader. It was, you will be on at this time. We will take attendance. We will go through grades. When the other teachers are in, you're going to go tune into their stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, well, we'll post the assignments and just have at it all day.
Yeah, that worked for last year and doing quarantine and everything, but I was really happy that wasn't the format that this school decided to use this time.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the live versions of classes. I didn't get to see any of it in practice because I was at work, but the kids all said they really liked it. They didn't seem to have too many glitches. I know there was one day where things were not working out.
One of the special resource type teachers, I don't know, she comes in and she works with all the kids throughout the school on projects. She posted a link. It was a bad link to a Google Meet. We weren't the only one because kid 2, our second grader, sends off an email to that teacher and his teacher. Right, nice email. And then we went and looked at the bulletin board for his classroom, and he wasn't the only kid putting stuff. Somebody said, "Hey, this link's dead. It's not working." And he, I coached him through how to say ditto. And then another classmate got on and chimed in. So there's multiple classmates going, basically, what the f?
So how awesome is it that kid number 2, who is 7, can email his teacher?
Yeah.
And did it
and put bulletin board posts in the
deal.
Google Classroom.
It's a scary thing to have to email a teacher and point out, hey, you're not doing this right.
I didn't even fix the typos or anything on it. I'm just let him go.
Coach him through it at
Yeah.
all? Oh, okay. That's good.
I was sitting right next to him when he was
It's a
doing
good life
it.
skill to have, and I'm happy that they're getting it at a young age.
So it worked out. They made it. And so if we have to go back to that because we're not through this thing yet, even though they're going, oh, the vaccines are coming, they're coming. They're not here yet, and it's going to take a while for them to roll out and everybody to get it. So we're still in for several more months of this. Yay!
Yay!
Grounds to drink. And speaking of that, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Weekend White by Round Barn.
Nice.
It's a wine. It's great. I love it. What are you drinking today?
I'm actually just drinking tea.
Well,
I have a green tea with lemon and ginger. Yeah, I know. It's not exciting.
You can put whiskey in it.
I probably could.
You don't want to?
Not at the moment.
You're no fun.
There were some whiskey nights already.
It's true.
One of our friends is heading to Florida. He's had enough of Michigan and lockdown life, so he's going to go where they're not locked down and have lots of Rona.
Lots of Rona.
He's going to sit on the beach and sip Coronas. Hey,
I would happily sit on the beach and sip anything at this point. Although we live in Michigan and it's really cold
We've
here.
been teasing him because he's not the only. He's a hockey friend, and he's not the only member who has 2 of the other guys have retired and moved to Florida. And we're like, you're going to, are we starting a Southern division? One of the other guys is thinking of moving to Texas. Another guy's thinking of moving to Louisiana. We're like, we'll just have the local adult league, the Southern division. We'll have a championship. You guys can come up once, 3 times a year
or something.
Yeah.
Halfway for everybody.
We'll be the national champions.
How
many local rinks have a multi-state championship? We could be the first that we know about. It'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Beer league across the country.
Except for that whole coronavirus thing.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Your coronavirus.
I don't love that idea because of coronavirus. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, dude. I'm splashing my wine out of the cup.
Slip it off your finger.
But it's wasteful.
I'm sorry, I can't contain myself. You're over there licking the side of the cup.
This is the end of
It's something about your
bottle.
family always comes back to lick it. The lick it story, especially this time of year. Lick it comes back.
We really should make that T-shirt for my dad.
We should. I think you need to tell us the lick it story. Lick it.
We were Christmas shopping one year.
In Virginia,
right outside of D.C. And we were walking into a TJ Maxx, actually. And I think at this point we had been shopping for 3 or 4 hours. And it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, if that gives you any idea into the frame of mind that everybody in our group was in.
And your dad's very much like me. Like, if we're going, we've got a plan. We go in, out, or if we got multiple stops, the order of the stores makes sense. This was not how that shopping trip was going. It was every which way, and let's backtrack and like, oh, now we need to go to a store that was next door to the store we were at before.
My mom and I were in charge of the plan.
So
okay,
your dad and I are already
the men were like irritated.
God.
The kids were being noisy. I think we had two.
We had two very little
kids. They were teeny tiny. And my mom and I were like, we're shopping. This is amazing. We're not going to pay any attention to any details. So we were walking in to a TJ Maxx.
And it was in a strip mall, so we were kind of
there were lots of stores to bounce between.
And we kept, like, when somebody was in the checkout lane, the rest of us would move on to the next store.
Yeah, I think we had actually just gotten out of Michael's, which is the
that
whole...
or Old Navy or something.
Other, like, world of its own.
The usual type of strip mall type stores. Right. There's a Bed Bath & Beyond and everything.
You guys understand.
Yeah.
So my dad, the rest of us got into the store and like started looking for the things that we wanted to get. My dad was taking forever and he was one of the last ones to get into the store. And he finally got in and he was super irritated by the time he met up with all of us. And we were like, what is your problem? And he goes, well, I walked into the door and there was like a man staring at me. And so I didn't like that. And so I just started staring back at him. And the man said, lick it.
No.
No?
The man spit in front of your dad.
Oh, you tell the story then.
Okay.
Because I don't.
Because I was like,
because honestly, all I remember is lick it, and it's like a
so
thing.
Yeah, the man like went and hocked a loogie and spit right at your dad's feet, and then looked at him and said, "Lick it."
And I do believe my dad was like, "You lick it."
So then
then my dad ran into the store away from the man,
and then the man followed him in. So he's like, "We got to go."
Yeah, he's like, "We have to go now."
Crazy like Unabomber looking dude is following us around at TJ Maxx. Let's just go.
To lick it.
And then Lick It has been a running gag in the family.
Yep.
And your brother was with us somewhere too. And it's just been like, somehow it all comes back to
Always.
Lick It. All family outings. If we're sitting around, we're playing card games at Christmas time or Thanksgiving or whenever your parents are town. And especially there's cocktails going.
Lick it.
Lick It comes up at some point. And it all comes back to Lick It.
It does. And we all have a really big laugh over it. I'm really happy that you remember the specific details of that story.
It's hard not to.
It is definitely one of those like long-standing family mythology type stories, and that eventually all the details get lost.
Yeah. So if you spill your wine, Jess.
Lick it.
Lick it.
I mean, I just did. So.
Should we create a line of Red Arrow Health and Wellness T-shirts, and one of them can just say "Lick It"?
Maybe we should.
You think anyone would buy a shirt that says "Lick It"?
I'll buy one. My dad will probably buy one. That's about
That's
it.
two.
I don't know. That's two right there. So we can put them on onesies. It'll be hilarious.
I can wear it while I'm coaching because that's appropriate.
You'll get fired for that.
I know. Real fast, fired and banned, and probably put on some sort of state list on stay away from the playing fields. And oh my!
Okay.
What else? You had something else though. Before we did cheers and we were talking about what we were drinking, we were talking about licking it. You were gonna say something.
I was.
Yeah, about the week.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. You made it through a week at work without like having to go get another COVID test.
I'm pretty excited about that.
That's an achievement.
We have upcoming mandatory COVID tests, I think, in 2 weeks, so that'll be good.
It feels like you just had one. Oh, wait, you did just have one.
I did, because we had like a whole bunch of kids with symptoms, and we wanted everybody to stay healthy, and like our kids, it's just, we did just do this because we had... The
November mandatory one was what, the week before Thanksgiving?
It was.
Anyway, a week without brain massages.
Yes, that'll be nice. Hopefully that trend will continue for this upcoming week.
Hopefully, so then you can get your mandatory one and then make it into 2021 before you have to get another one.
Yeah.
Be nice.
It's fine. It just sort of depends on who gives you the test. Some people are only like rubbing the inside of your nostril, which is not terrible. And other practitioners are still jamming the Q-tip all the way up to your brain and wiggling it around on both sides of your head.
Well, they want to make sure it's not hiding behind the base of your skull.
I guess so. Yeah, it's fun.
Yay.
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 All right. What are we talking about this week?
Rebooting.
You know, that was the name of like my cousin's, she was in a band at one point, Rebooted.
Really?
It was some like country.
Like a garage band?
Kind of, except for they are all like middle-aged or older.
Nice.
She's a much older cousin.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, I think they did like cover songs and stuff, and they would go play breweries and wineries and stuff like that
That's
up north.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good.
Yeah. But we're talking about a different kind of rebooting.
Different reboots. Yes, we are talking about
Hollywood.
Hollywood. No. Yeah, we're
no
rebooting
original ideas.
Suicide Squad again. Woo! Not really. I'm not excited about that at all.
But they are.
They are, and that is a bad idea. No, we are talking about rebooting an exercise or diet plan. Or both.
Or any self-management plan.
Yep.
Because they work for a while, and
then you fall off the wagon.
Fall off the wagon, or sometimes it just starts skidding, and you back off of it a little bit. And it's time to get rebooted. And you and I right now are looking at doing reboots or just kicking it up a notch.
Yep.
Like, what do you got going on?
So I have completely fallen off of my exercise plan, and I've fallen off of my diet plan, which has been nice because like it's nice to not have to exercise and nice to be able to eat all of the really terrible things and not feel bad about it.
Because your office even has a budget for the employees.
A candy budget.
A candy budget for the employees.
Put in orders for paper towels and plastic forks and things, and the person that submits that order will say, okay, here's our order for the week. And the woman that's in charge of it for the company will write back and say, okay, I've ordered everything and I added in a bag of candy too. And we're like, oh, yay, that's exciting. And it's not like hard candy. It is like a bag of...
Not old people candy?
No. It is like a bag of Reese's Cups and a bag of Nestle Crunches and all kinds of other really wonderful things.
Specifically not for the clients.
Oh, no, not for the clients at all. It's for us. Which is... so incredibly lovely that they do it. I honestly think it's fantastic because, like, if somebody needs a candy fix, they can just go up to that desk and be like, I need some candy. And that person will give it to them.
We used to do this at one of the offices I worked at. At one of the offices I used to work at, one of the guys I worked with had the gumball machines that we put M&Ms in.
Nice.
And then but the company wouldn't give us an M&M budget. We just took turns filling it up, and we would feel bad, and people would wander in. And it was it was nice when we're working like 14, 16, 18-hour days. Yeah. It was there, but then we started overusing it. So everyone's running to Costco. Then we started getting creative with the flavors going in. But there was no coordination amongst all of us. So you would have like the mocha M&Ms, all these special releases, along with the coconut and the peppermint and the peanut butter and the almond and whatever, all mixed together.
Nice.
And then occasionally you'd get the idiot who would throw in Skittles.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah, it is mean.
That's just terrible.
I mean, some of the flavors play well together, but when you start mixing everything together,
you can't
it's
tell
a hot
because
mess.
it's the same colors. Oh.
Yeah. I like the dark chocolate ones, and especially the dark chocolate peanut butter ones. Anyway, but we all had to bring it in ourselves.
Yeah, no, the company is just buying us candy and sticking it in our offices.
And you're off the rails, so you're like just enjoying it too, aren't you?
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I know exactly where it's kept. I know that I was told, they're like, yeah, if you ever want a piece of candy, you can just go in there and get it. And I was like, really? he said, yeah, you can. It's fine. I was like, oh, it's not fine for me, but okay.
Well, we did a podcast a while ago about knowing when to kind of go back and recycle or reboot and stuff. And, and I'm at that point too, where especially as we went through cross country and restarting it and, my personal workouts took a hit, and I was looking at it, instead of going and running, swimming, biking, kayaking, playing hockey, all that stuff. Well, okay, hockey's on a pause right now officially. Mm-hmm. And it's getting colder. We've put the kayak away. Most of the bikes are away. Running, I had, with everything going on, running started dropping back and from a everyday thing with kid one over the summer to it got to be once or twice a week. Mm-hmm. And my weight, while there's still the usual up and down variability to it, the trend is not going in the direction I like.
Yeah.
And especially after Thanksgiving, the morning after, we talked about it was bad, but it was like, it's a 5-pound spike. And I'm like, okay, well, the next day will be better. And it was down a little bit, but then the following day it was back up again. So I'm like, okay, variability at a higher level, and I'm not happy with it. So it is time to, let's get back on it, because let's face it, human nature is you want to do the least amount of effort possible to get the maximum results.
Yes.
And so when you're starting to get results, it's like, I can ease off a little bit. Well, you keep easing off, and sometimes you ease off a little bit too much. And that's kind of where I'm at now. It's like, well, I can't be that relaxed with this. I need to step it up a notch to get to where I want to be.
So I have not been brave enough to get back on the scale. But
I still get on every morning.
Because it just, there's a whole mental thing that I do with the scale, and I don't love that. So I'm just avoiding the scale at this point.
See, I just don't think about it. It's part of my routine.
I bought all of these very lovely work clothes when I started my brand new job, and they all fit fantastically, if not a little bit big. And now the vast majority are getting tight, and I do not love that at all. So that tells me it is time to get back on the treadmill. It is time to get back on the bike, and it is time to get this diet business back under control. Okay. And I think, honestly, using...
And usually when we go through this, it's like you're rebooting, because it happens, or tuning up, or you're getting serious about the workout plan and I'm coasting, or vice versa. So the fact that we're lining up at the same time going, yep, let's get back, let's get serious about this.
Yep. Also, my friends decided that they all needed to start exercising again, and one of them put a call out in a group text that we're in and said, I really need to get my butt back in gear. Who wants to do it with me? And I was the first one to go, me! But then I was also the first one to say, you know what? This is not a good week for me because of work-related things. I'm going to join in next Tuesday when I have a lot more time.
Yeah, you did have some big deliverables that you had to bring in. And we'll leave it at that. But
yep.
So what are you guys doing with you and your friends? You've done the 1 month butt challenge. You've done the ab challenge. You've done all sorts of squat challenges. Did you guys pick a challenge, or is it just a general treadmill bicycle thing?
We are not doing a specific challenge. If you want to do it, that's cool, but we did not all commit to it. We are committing to doing 30 minutes a day of anything that we want. It doesn't even have to be high intensity, but it does have to be off of the couch moving your butt. So I'm going to be doing...
How do they define high intensity, or is it just whatever someone says is
whatever
high intensity?
Somebody says is high intensity? I have one friend who absolutely loves this online exercise person, and she shared her login info with us so we could check out the videos and do it. And I did it for 2 days, and I thought that I was going to die. And I am not kidding. I'm used to the person that I follow. She she'll make you work for a few minutes, and then you sort of take just a tiny little break, and it's fine. This person that my friend shared with us is high intensity the entire 30 minutes that you are working. And it is not skipping through the fields intensity. It is oh my God, this is practically just running forever for 30 minutes straight. I can't run for 30 minutes straight. I'm going to die.
You were expected to have already done a warm-up routine before you start the video, right? Yeah. So it doesn't include it's not 30 minutes including the warm-up.
I did 2 days of that, and then I was like, dude, I love that you shared this with us. Thank you. This is not for me. I can't do it. I am not in shape enough for this. So what I think that I'm going to be doing for my 30 minutes, it's just a 1 month thing to see if we can all get back on board and get our butts back in shape, and sort of maintain through the holiday season, because we are all going to be baking. We all have kids. Kids love to make cookies at the holidays. I got a picture from one friend last night. Her kid had the entire very long counter covered in baking supplies and was icing cookies, and it looked like so much fun. But also, that's like 4 dozen cookies right there in their house. Like, very tempting, right?
Our kids,
do the same thing.
If it was 4 dozen cookies being produced, they probably made about 8 dozen cookies worth of cookie dough.
Yes,
they
is
eat
true. They
as
eat
much
the
as they
cookie dough.
produce.
I eat the cookie dough. It's delicious. But like, holiday baking season is upon us. It is definitely a thing. And it's important to keep moving, keep getting some sort of exercise in, keep trying to keep the diet on track so that we do not have an explosive gain.
And we've talked about in other episodes that also helps with the positivity, because this time of year and staying positive, especially in a year where we've got the corona and the lockdowns, you can't see as many people, all that. It helps you sleep better at night because with the extra anxiety and everything of 2020, sleep issues are popping up all over the place. So doing a workout will help your body stay in a rhythm, stay in a routine, and sleep better at night.
Yeah.
Which will help with the anxiety. It's that spiral effect. So get some sleep at night, sets you up for a great day the next day with a positive attitude.
Yeah.
So that you can work out again.
We all committed to doing 30 minutes a day. Everyone but me has been showing up and doing their things. They all know what my situation is, and I plan on joining them next Tuesday. And we'll
next Tuesday or this Tuesday?
Well, it's okay. I don't count Sunday as like the start of the week.
Okay.
I don't care that technically it is. I don't count it. So next Tuesday.
The next Tuesday to show up on the calendar. So on our next podcast episode, you can talk about whether you did it or not.
Yes.
There you go.
But I've decided, since I don't have a bike trainer for my bike, I will be getting on the treadmill for 30 minutes a day. I don't know how intense I'll be going, but I think it's okay to start with a baby step onto just getting on the treadmill and doing it for a certain period of time. It might be the world's slowest walk, but I'm going to do it.
You and I were chatting about this earlier before we started recording, and you know, we were both trained in research methods pretty intensely, and we come out of a scientific background where we do research so we can publish. Yeah, and even in the clinical settings, we want to show control and not people freaking out, but like that what we're doing and be able to empirically show. That's what's making the difference. And it helps when you're billing to an insurance company that they want to know, is what you're doing making the difference or is it something else? So you want almost that light switch effect. If we put it in, switch on, the light comes on. Switch off, light goes off. And same with your intervention treatments. When it comes to self-management and working out, yeah, okay, that's nice. But how many people out there are going to actually go publish this stuff? How about you it's fine to ease into it, to do a little bit. A lot of these New Year's resolutions fail, and we've talked about doing a New Year resolution show when we get closer to New Year's, but they fail because you go from doing nothing that on a specific day, suddenly I'm going to work out 7 days a week for 3 hours a day. Yeah, that's not going to hold.
It's not.
Ease into it. Now after you ease into it, you can incrementally go up. Now, if there's some research nerds listening, us being research nerds too, they're like, well, that's a light switch effect too, and there's a plan to that. Yeah, I get it. Relax. What I'm trying to tell people is you don't need to throw the kitchen sink and everything else and have these amazing workout goals and be working out nonstop. You can basically go 0 to 60 in a blink of an eye. Ease into it. Start simple. And 30 minutes a day. You guys are doing 5 days a week or 7 days a week?
I think 7.
I mean, even I would say that's a lot, but at least you're getting back to it. You're not starting from nothing forever. It's just been kind of a skew. I restarted this week, and part of it for me was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to work out every single day. No days off. Now, I'm mixing up what I'm doing, and the default is if I'm not, playing garage hockey or something with the kids, I'm at the very least getting on the treadmill. So I'm doing something every single day. And then also working on not cheating, being more stringent on diet and nutrition. Even though last night we had a bunch of popcorn.
Yes.
It was just there. It was with the dinner. The day was, and like this whole week, I've been very good about being low carb until the potato chips and the popcorn were all over the table because we made hamburgers at home, cheeseburgers, Did a great job. Had them nicely seasoned. I had mine
They
without
were
a bun.
perfect hamburgers.
Perfect.
They were
But,
so good.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll just have a piece of popcorn, which turned into a handful after a handful of, got on the scale. I'm like, first day this week that was not on just a down from the day before.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens. I mean, the main thing is I'm going for trends versus just freaking out over one day. That's why Thanksgiving alone wasn't a big deal. But when the level didn't drop back down, and I just had that same amount of variability I normally have, only at a much higher level, like 5-pound jump level. It's like, we got to get this trend going down. So the week's been pretty good, easing into it. I'll probably get more stringent as the weeks go on, but just getting into this, and I can increase the intensity of my runs. I can increase the duration of my runs, but really just been going for half hour to an hour to actually had one that was 80 minutes because it was just having fun and I got into it.
Awesome.
But just a few miles.
Good.
Nothing like crazy. No 10-mile runs. You can only handle the treadmill for so long, and it's cold out, and I haven't felt like going and doing cold weather running.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So I checked my group text message, and it's 30 minutes a day for 30 days straight, which is not terrible.
But so is it all lost if you miss a day?
Well, no, I'll just extend my time.
Okay.
To make up for what I've had to skip.
You don't have to restart and do another 30 days?
Ugh, no.
I mean, that is a style of plan.
It is, and I used
30
that
consecutive
with
days.
my previous behavior plan I had put myself on, but no, not for this. I am at a point where I need to start off very, very basic and work to building myself
Are there
back up.
consequences attached with yours, or is it just the
No.
social disapproval?
It's not even disapproval. We talk each
The
other up. We're like,
implied
that's
social
okay. You can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day.
Is
Just
it
get back on the horse. It's
the
fine.
implied social, though, of having to tell your friends I didn't do it.
Yeah,
anything.
that is there. You have to speak up.
Okay.
At least you're supposed to speak up.
Otherwise, they're just going to ping you like, what'd you do, Jessica? What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do, Jessica?
Mostly, we will only do that if somebody specifically asks us to do that. I had one friend over the summer that said, look, I've been really good about running, but now it's the end of the summer and I've not been doing it as good a time. So I need you guys to really step in. And if I don't post something by like 6 o'clock or whatever, be like, hey, dude, where's your run for today? Did you do it?
Does anyone ever get into a mood where they just like, step off, woman? Lick it.
Yes. Sometimes.
They said lick it?
No.
Oh.
But maybe they'll start after
Maybe.
this.
But they have said something to the effect of step off.
They're like, look, I didn't do it today. It's because blah, blah, blah. Leave me alone.
It's like
and
that.
It's like, whoa, okay.
That Chris Farley SNL skit. Lay off me, I'm hungry.
Yes. I love that skit.
It is
It's
a good skit.
great. And also, that's me. Yeah.
So you got your thing, your diet next. Are you doing diet with it too?
No, it is specifically for exercise, but I need to get my diet under control because, again, my office supplies candy. Every day, it is unlimited. It's just there. And it's like, look at me. I'm in a pretty orange wrapper with a Christmas tree on it. No, it's not good. I'm talking about Reese's. Reese's have Christmas tree shaped
I'm
Reese's
aware.
cups, and there's a Christmas tree on the orange wrapper.
I haven't had a Reese's in years.
So incredibly delicious. You are missing all the fun.
I am missing all the fun. That was 2 Halloweens in a row where I did not eat Halloween
Congratulations, you're a better human than I am.
candy. Oh. Ugh, look at woman. As I crash into the mic, spinning in my chair. No, I just need to stop cheating. And it's not the candy. Like, there's candy in the house. And in fact, they in Kid 2's classroom, they had a big auction, and they earn classroom bucks for doing extra work and everything. And they had it every so often. They have an auction, and so he came home and he had this pack of markers, and he's like, "This was 50 classroom bucks." They have a different name for them, but. And then what else did you get? He pulls out this giant bag of fun-sized candy, mostly Nestle Crunches, which has been a longtime favorite of mine. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh god, what's this? Put that in a cabinet where I can't see it. And yeah, nerds are good too. So there's candy in the house, and there's tons of chocolate chips in the Lazy Susan because Kid 1 likes to make chocolate chip cookies. About half the batch actually becomes cookies.
Everybody likes to eat the dough because it's delicious.
So I stay away from the dough too. So the stuff's in the house. Well, just because we're watching what we eat doesn't mean the kids are suffering.
No, they're definitely not suffering at all.
Occasionally we do live vicariously through them
those
by
little
like
goobers and their high metabolisms.
Oh, I know.
Not fair. No, but the diet part of it is not part of our little friend challenge we're doing. But for me, because my clothes are getting tighter, I don't like that. I don't want to have to buy brand new work clothes again. I need to really start watching the diet and sort of get back into low carb. Low carb was very effective for me, and so I would like to start doing that again.
I will say it's very supportive when like I'm doing low carb. It gets kind of depressing when I'm the only one doing it. And when
I know.
All of a sudden, like when we did burgers, everyone's got their buns going out except for me. I always feel better.
I didn't have a bun.
I know you didn't have a bun last night.
I haven't had a bun in a really long time.
Can I finish my story? Yeah. But it feels really good when like the two of us are doing it together. And then instead of just it's dad being weird, it's mom and dad are doing this together.
Mom and dad are being weird together.
It also makes it easier when I'm cooking dinner and it's like, okay, while I like to make one dinner for everybody, like when we do duck, usually it's you and I are doing duck and we just do the similar recipe, but we do it with chicken for the kids. So it's not a huge meal prep difference. Although kid 3 now has decided he likes duck breast too.
Yeah, that's not surprising though. That kid eats everything.
Yeah, he does. If only he'd grow.
Yeah.
He eats everything, but he doesn't get any taller. Doesn't get any bigger.
It's okay.
Actually, one of your friends brought by the other day to drop off Girl Scout stuff. And he came running by the door like a flash. She's like, holy cow, is that insert name of kid 3 right there? She's like, he's so big. But like we've been around him where we don't really notice that he has shot up until you kind of look at pictures and going, oh yeah, he is finally growing. It just took a COVID year of being locked down at home for the kid to actually grow.
So the good thing about doing low carb, again, in relation to sweets, there are some really delicious desserts that you can make that are low carb that will very easily and very happily fill in the place of candy at work for me. So I'm pretty excited about that. And in case you're wondering, I'm talking about fat bombs. Fat bombs are delicious. And as long as you keep them cold, everything is fine.
So are we making another batch of fat bombs?
We're going to have to because I need to have them like available at work so that I can, because, you know, sometimes I really just need a piece of chocolate because, you know.
Yeah. You're not the only one. I know.
Yeah. And
I'm guessing a lot of our listeners know.
Also, right. And if I can replace that chocolate craving with a fat bomb, which is technically works for my diet, versus grabbing that Reese's cup, that'll be a lot better.
Which has its fair share of fat too.
Yeah, but it's also got
sugar and carbs and
stuff. It's not great. So that'll be good. We need to make some. I can keep them in the freezer at work. We're allowed to do that. So put them in a little container. And
leave some at home for me though.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to take all of them. They make a lot. The recipes are pretty big.
Well, that's usually I scale up the recipes a lot.
Oh, well, scale them up even more. It'll be awesome. But that'll help. Definitely having like a replacement food that's going to scratch the same itch available at work so that I can turn to that versus go to the candy drawer is going to be huge for me.
Yeah. Now on the topic of rebooting, and I'll answer it my own question too after you, but like, do you feel like a failure when you have to reboot? Do you?
Yeah, I feel like, why did you fall off the wagon in the first place? You should have just been able to like keep going and not succumb to like temptation or to laziness.
See, I don't, as long as because I feel like I'm successful in catching myself with me, it's less of I've done this and I've quit. It's more of like I've go into the maintenance realm where it's like I just got to maintain it. I'm not looking to do heavy changes, and that's where it just starts to gradually slide the wrong way. And in the past, when I was, younger days, that slide would go on for years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I look around like, what the hell? How did I, 50, 60, 70 pounds later, like what the hell? So now just catching it when it's the early stages of that, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm still in control of this. I got it. And then making those adjustments. So I don't feel like a failure. I feel like I'm still on top of it, especially since I haven't thrown everything out the window. I just relaxed it a little bit too much. So we're just going to do a fine tweak and tune it in.
Well, that makes sense. But for me, I have thrown everything out the window. So.
Okay, well then there you go.
So yes, I do feel like a failure because of that. Now, if I had maintained my exercise routine throughout this entire like dietary failure, I would not feel as bad about it. But
and your skid really kicked in when you started this new job and trying to get the scheduling in, and you tried at first getting up at 4 a.m. to get on the treadmill, but
because I need my sleep.
You need your sleep and you need coffee, and it's hard to like have coffee kick in, especially when you're throwing like the cream and everything in when you don't have a gallbladder.
Yes. It's a thing.
When it kicks in and you're on the treadmill, those are competing contingencies. You can't be addressing the gastrointestinal distress of that while on a treadmill.
You cannot.
And without having to do some heavy cleanup afterwards.
Also, nope. Yeah.
There's a mental picture for you.
Not compatible, and we'll leave it at that. No, I think for me, for this time, exercise is going to have to be in the evening, probably after dinner, because I don't get home until about dinner time anyways, and I want to see my family. I want to see my kids. I want to eat dinner because I'm usually starving by then. So it'll have to be after dinner instead of, plopping down on the couch and relaxing for that whole maybe 2 hours after dinner before I go to bed. Have the 30 minutes of it will have to be get on the treadmill and walk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I'll come hang out with you.
No, thank you. I'm a little bit concerned about being really sort of hyped up afterwards and then not being able to fall asleep because, again, I need my sleep. And if I don't get my sleep, I'm going to be grumpy the next day. And I work with kids who scream a lot. So being grumpy isn't really an option.
No, and then you come home grumpy and that makes me grumpy.
Right. Then everybody's grumpy.
Then everybody's grumpy.
And it's a horrible, vicious cycle of grumpiness.
The trickle down economics of grumpiness in the family.
Trickly grumps.
When it comes to rebooting, what are your top tips for people who are also looking to reboot?
Okay, so
and this is like not starting from scratch. This is just you have something in place. It's gone off the rails a little bit, or you took a pause, getting back on track.
Yeah, so my first one is to really, I talked about the candy situation at work. And I also talked about bringing in a fat bomb to replace it. Honestly, take a look at your diet and see if you can replace unhealthy things with things that will work to give you that same sense of satisfaction if you eat them that are also compliant with your diet.
Because removing all the candy from the work environment just isn't happening.
Never gonna
Your
happen.
coworkers
They
will
would revolt.
Yes.
They would show up
and
with
you don't want
pitchforks and be
revolting
like,
coworkers, do you?
We want candy and we want it now. No, I don't want revolting coworkers.
You also don't want angry ones coming in with pitchforks and torches.
Right. They're all really pretty, and I want them to continue being pretty. And if it takes candy for that to happen, then by all means, have the candy. But
you need something for you.
I need something for me that is going to satisfy that chocolate peanut butter candy fix that I need.
Yes.
Every once in a while. So that is a tip. Look at your diet. See what you're eating. See if you can replace it with something that will scratch that itch, but still be compliant with what you are hoping to do.
I've got to go back. I've got a recipe for making like cheese crisps that are like replace that salty
I need
treat,
that too.
kind of like crackers or potato chips or something. And I've done it before, cheese crisps. So I need to get some more of those and make a few batches because that's where I start going off the rails. Mm-hmm. It's not the sweets. It's the salties.
Yeah, I have that problem too. Potato chips have become a staple in my diet, and that's terrible. So I am going to need some sort of salty, crunchy replacement for them. I tried doing seaweed crisps before, and those were pretty good. But once you get satiated on them, like it takes a long time for that to go away. So I don't think that will work.
Fair enough. And it's an acquired taste. Not everyone's going for that.
For sure. They are good at first, though. I will say that.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. What's your next tip?
My next tip would be to set a date and then really stick to it. Like, I am going to get on the treadmill next Tuesday because things at work should be calm. It's a good time to do it. So I'm going to do it. And then hold yourself accountable to that.
What happens if you don't do it?
Have some sort of consequence. For me, it's TV use. It's going to be like, if I did it, then I can sit with my husband and watch our favorite show at the end of the night because you just are.
What about just the shame of telling you've already told the ladies you're going to do this, knowing that you have to go back and admit that you failed?
But I don't live with them. I could lie to them.
You barely ever see them anymore because of COVID.
Stupid COVID. I don't get to see my friends.
Yeah.
No, so that shame right there, they're going to hold me accountable is definitely a part of it. But also I need some
Every
sort of...
time we keep saying shame, though, it makes me think of the opening interview of the movie Slapshot.
What?
And then you go to the penny box and you feel shame.
Not really.
And then you get out.
No, there's no shame in that.
It's just a great sequence. It's a great movie.
I need some sort of tangible that I can enforce myself. Like telling my friends are going to tell me, that's okay, don't feel bad, do it tomorrow. Which is nice. But I need to have some sort of consequence. And for me, it's going to be TV.
Fine.
Look, I didn't say you couldn't watch the show. I said I can't watch it.
We'll watch my shows.
Oh. See, that works too.
There you go. We'll watch some
We'll
Oak
have to
Island.
watch Marco's crappy shows where they never find anything
Historical
or accomplish
dramas.
anything.
Documentaries.
No. See?
You were in so much pain. What was it? Last night we were watching, they were looking for Shackleton's lost ship from his failed exploration.
Do you know how boring that show was?
Fascinating.
No. It was awful. But you know what happened afterwards? You turned on Die Hard, and that was much better.
Well, we needed a nice Christmas movie.
We did. We haven't
And
watched it
let's
yet
face
this
it,
year.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So is Die Hard 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have I seen Die Hard 2?
It's the one that's over at like Dulles in D.C. with the terrorists.
They all have terrorists in them.
Oh, whatever. It's the ones at the airport.
I like the one where they're like computer nerds and are hacking.
Also in D.C., yeah.
I like that one.
But at that point, Bruce Willis is bald.
It doesn't matter.
And it's got the guy from Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah, that guy. I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's really good in that movie. So you should watch that one. Die Hard or Live Free. Live Free or Die Hard. I don't know.
It's the one with Kevin Smith.
Right. He's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody should watch that Die Hard. It's good. Die Hard #1 and Die Hard whatever number that is.
Die Hard 3 is also great. It's got Samuel L. Jackson.
That one is good.
Yeah.
That's not number 2.
And Alfred.
Old Alfred?
No, Alfred who wears like combat boots.
What?
Ben Affleck's Alfred. What the hell's that guy's name? Scar. Why am I?
Jeremy Irons.
Thank you. I'm having a complete brain fart on who it was. Jeremy Irons. Yes, Scar.
I didn't know he was Ben Affleck's.
He's
Alfred?
Ben Affleck's.
Have we
Alfred.
seen that Batman?
He's been
Have
several.
I seen it?
Yes.
Oh,
He was
must
Ben
have not made an
Affleck.
impression.
Ben Batfleck. It was his Alfred. He was also Scar in The Lion King.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy Irons is a phenomenal actor. If you can't think of anything else that he's been in,
was
you need to up your movie game.
The Borgia. He was good in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was.
He was a fun pope. Not to be
Let's leave it at
confused
that.
with the young pope.
Oh my God. That movie
Or the new
went-
pope
that
or whatever.
Show went off the rails.
Yeah, we never even made it through the second season. It was
I'm
like,
positive
all right.
we're not missing anything.
Yep. Lost interest.
For sure. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's get back on. Do you have consequences for yours?
You know what? I don't actually, other than I've got implied social consequences because for me, I mean, we've got between this podcast and our associated Instagram account and, you know, just pressure I put on myself. That's enough. I mean, even just like, hell, just every time I see my parents, it's like, okay, eyes up here, stop looking at my stomach. You know, it's just that kind of stuff. That internal piece keeps me going.
That's good.
If I need I don't need the big overt stuff anymore. The big over the top, heavy consequences, that internal social piece is enough for me these days. So that'll hold me on.
I definitely don't
Plus,
have.
I want to be able to like run. I'm already starting. It's winter. I'm starting to eye the summer triathlons and races and whatnot, and it starts now. The gradual build to be. I hit a new adult because I've talked about this before, where I've got my PRs from when I was a high school runner, but then I went so off the rails and got so heavy that I've got the adult set of PRs, and I set a new 5K PR over the summer, and I want to improve on that this coming summer. For me, that starts now with the gradual build, so I don't hurt myself because
That's a very good point.
my old body takes a while to build up to it. I'm not 15 years old anymore. I'm not 20 or 25. I'm in my 40s, and so I'm going to do it gradual. Because if it does hurt, it hurts for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have hopefully the Naperville triathlon coming up next summer, and I need to be working towards that because I can't swim in the winter. So that leaves walking on the treadmill to get ready for that aspect of it.
There's one in June in Michigan, and I don't know if it's going to take place, but I've been eyeing it for a while, and I kind of hope it does. And it's a Kai Tri up at Sleeping Bear Dunes, which, if you're not familiar with Sleeping Bear Dunes, it is a national park, and it's a giant sand dune. So this is a kayak bike run, but the run is up this mountain of a sand dune and along the top. So it's an incredibly hard challenge, and especially in this part, usually the bigger, more challenging races tend to be later in the summer, so you can start in the spring and you can do your serious training in the summer, and then by the time you get to August, September, that's when the big races are. Well, this one's in June. And also, I mean, I usually look at them like, wow, it's during track season. I can't work out during track season. And this year, like, I also always put on weight during track season. So, and this is not a cue in for those people listening for clues on whether I'm going to keep coaching or not. It's like, if I'm coaching, I don't want to put on weight during coaching this year.
Yeah.
So I want to have that on the calendar if it's happening. Thanks, COVID. I want to do it. I want to run up there, because it's only a few hours away. Camp out, go do the race, come home. It's right around the time the kids get out of school, so we can either go as a family or not. The kids have been talking about we want to do camping again. I know you're not wild about it.
No.
But even if it's just me, I'll go, and then I'll just take my stinky butt home and take a shower at home.
Ew.
Yeah. I'll jump in Lake
None
Michigan
of that
first.
sounds appealing. You'll jump in the lake.
But, that's something on mine too, and that's kind of my thing is I put races on the calendar to train towards, and that's the extra motivation going too, that if I take days off and I go on a skid, I'm going to pay for it. It's physically going to hurt down the line if I'm not preparing my body for it correctly. And right now, like, we have our the Mish-X up in the UP for August. It was our 2020 race that got postponed to 2021 or rolled forward. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's happening. We really enjoyed it when we went before, so I'm looking forward to that. Apple Cider Century, our registration rolled forward and that's not a race, it's just a ride. But I want to go for a big ride on that one. Mm-hmm. And that's always the last Sunday in September. And for me, it's an actual extra piece too, because I play in a Sunday night hockey league. So it's like go for a big bike ride and still be able to work my legs to go play hockey that night. But other than that, then like haven't really signed up for 5Ks and stuff yet. And I know some of there's a triathlon company that hosts lots of races. Between them, we having mixed experiences with them most recently, and then just not knowing if they're going to be actually able to host these races. We haven't signed up for any of their stuff yet.
Nope.
If we are at all, I don't know. We've gotten into that already.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Mm-hmm. But again, we're just going off on a tangent there.
Long tangent.
What's your next tip?
My next tip.
Lick it.
No. My next tip is don't be afraid to ease into it.
Word.
Yeah. You don't want to, at least for me, I do not want to be like, yeah, I'm going to do 3 miles on the treadmill, and then I'm going to get off the treadmill, and I'm going to do 100 sit-ups, and then I'm going to do this over here with my arms, and I'm going to do that every single day for 30 days. Like, that's completely batshit crazy.
Easing into it can be in terms of frequency, duration, intensity, all of those.
Yeah.
Frequency being how many days a week you do it or how often you do it.
Yeah.
Duration being the time between the start and the finish. So if you're getting on the treadmill, you can start out. If you're really off the wagon, if you only need to go for 15 minutes, fine. Then next, over the following week, make it 20. The following week, make it 30. Increase that duration. And then intensity is just what
how much you're doing.
How fast.
How hard are you doing it?
How hard are you working yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So my intensity for this is going to be really, really tiny. It's going to be 30. All I have to do is 30 minutes on the treadmill.
What are you setting in terms of intensity? We could go with the speed you set the treadmill at.
Yeah, we can. Mine's probably going to be pretty low. It's probably going to be like closer to 2.
Okay.
2 miles per hour. So it's going to be a little tiny walk.
Yeah. But then you can, but that's a starting point.
Full 30 minutes. And then once I am consistently able to do that and am not like feeling like I'm going to die or feeling like I'm going to punch somebody in the face when I'm done, then I know it's time to up the intensity a little bit. Then I'll increase how many miles per hour I'm walking for that 30 minutes. It'll be a tiny increase, but it'll be an increase.
The important part is to establish a starting point.
Yep.
And then you can build from there.
Yeah.
If you throw it in, you're like, I'm going to run at a 7.
Run.
Or, set the treadmill to 7 and go for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It's like, yeah, you're going to die. You're going to actually have to scrape you off the wall behind the treadmill.
Exactly. That mirror back there will shatter.
Do you have something that you're going to watch while you're on the treadmill, by the way?
You know what? Interesting. I have not picked my treadmill show yet. We just got Disney Plus, and that's awesome.
Not a sponsor?
No, not a sponsor, but it is awesome. And there's like a whole bunch of funny little shows from my childhood on there. So I've really been enjoying watching Boy Meets World again.
Oh my God.
And I really think I might pick Boy Meets World for that 30 minutes because I think it's hysterical. Yep. So it might be that. It might be something else though. I don't know. I'll have to look.
Yay.
Yay.
To be fair, I've been using Disney Plus also with this reboot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
You don't want to know.
I do want to know. Is it Gummy Bears?
No, it hasn't. Although I tried to get...
Snorks? Is that on there?
No. That's Hanna-Barbera, isn't it? Who owns that now? I don't know. Actually, speaking of Gummy Bears, before I answer your question, I tried to get kid number 4 hooked on Gummy Bears, and she's like, "Oh, they're cute. This is weird," and she lost interest.
She watched
and then we turned on like
episode.
a second episode, and the other kids are like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
They're a little bit more interested, but anyway, no, I've actually because I was looking for something. And all the other shows I had been watching I'd already gotten through. So I'm like, all right, well, we got Disney Plus. What's on here that can get lots of episodes out of, not just like a movie. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing Star Wars, The Clone Wars.
With the Legos?
No.
Oh.
And then I get on, I'll do like 3 episodes of that. And then I know it's time to get off, which gets me at or a little over an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what's working right now. When I finish that, then it's back to the drawing board.
Any more embarrassing than me using Boy Meets World?
A little bit. Actually, Boy Meets World is a little bit more.
No, it is hysterical. They made the character Eric Matthews, so freaking stupid on that show towards the end that it is just wildly hysterical. It is.
Whatever.
And you
I don't even have to come back
You
for
don't
that.
have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's just for me.
Don't have to come back.
It needs to be motivating for me, and it will be. So that's all that matters. Your opinion doesn't matter at this point.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Lick it, woman.
No.
It all comes back to lick it.
Okay. That's enough of that.
Yeah. In terms of what we're doing, I think it's a given that we'll be talking about it on future podcast episodes.
For sure.
In progress. Mm-hmm. So there's that too.
Yep.
All right. Those are quick and easy tips. You got anything else? Or is that it?
I think that's it.
That's it. We've already covered in other episodes goal setting. We've already gone over making performance plans. We've gone over identifying when it's time to kind of recycle your intervention. Now we're talking about rebooting and getting back on track. What do you got?
I do have a question for you.
What's that?
Are you going to make a data sheet and stick it onto the fridge?
For you?
No, for you.
I'm not, and that's because I can see everything I need to see through my because I use my Fitbit app. Mm-hmm. And I do look at that quite often because my secondary measure is weight. Mm-hmm. It's not my primary measure because there's so many factors going in that. But that in that same app, I've got my number of steps. I got the big thing for me too is the number of days of exercise, and it tells me did I do a workout that day. And then also on the exercise, the workouts, I look for the intensity, how many active high intensity minutes. I can also look at the number of active minutes each day and for the week. So I've got all those measures right there, and then right next to it on my phone, I've got my diet app, my Fitness Pal that looks at calories. I haven't really been going over on calories. It's just making sure the macros balance out.
Awesome. I am going to make a data sheet to stick on the fridge.
Okay.
I think that having that visual reminder will help me. Also, I like to see dots filled in.
I like dots filled in. It's just mine's automatically doing it for me.
It's fine. I like the pencil and paper.
I love data sheets. I like making data sheets, but if it's automated collection, why reinvent the wheel? So in this case, I'm not going to, because if I got it, it's automatic. It's all in one place, or in this case, 2 places, but on my phone. Mm-hmm. Even the scale is linked to it.
Yeah.
And I like the way it displays it. It's, I'm a little OCD when it comes to the visual representation of data. But in this case, while it's not perfect, it's not publishable quality, it's good enough. And that's something you need to tell yourself too, even if you are someone coming out of behavioral psychology. Good enough. It's when I worked for the road commission back in my engineering days, we had a phrase, good enough for government work, good enough for county work. Well, when you're designing a road that's going like 5 miles and you're off by a few millimeters, who cares? The way the asphalt spreads, it's not the end of the world.
Well, I'll have to trust you on that.
Well,
most of us don't have that experience.
We're not, you're not doing high precision work. We're not doing advanced electronics. We're not doing nanotechnology. It's actually macro, So it's keep in mind, what do you need this level of precision in what you're doing? And sometimes it's just good enough, and just don't sweat the small stuff if it doesn't, it's not enough to make a difference.
Yeah.
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 Good enough. So I don't need that perfect little break around the data points with the line connecting it where the line doesn't actually touch the point, or all these little technical pieces that I used to drill into my students, which was important for them if they wanted to publish and if they wanted to do technically precise work. But in terms of just working out my own personal exercise, and even when I'm graphing performance of my runners, my cross country and my track runners and the jumpers and the throwers, I have all those little pieces that I was taught way back as an undergrad in Dr. Carr's class, research methods class, and was drilled into me again when I had research methods as a grad student. I drilled into my students. It doesn't bother me that my Fitbit app doesn't match that level of quality. It's like I can read, I can interpret what's going on there, and I understand trends, and I can get it.
It bothers me.
Does it?
Is all I'm going
You
to
can't
say
sleep at
about
night?
this. It makes me absolutely crazy.
Because you think Dr. Carr would disapprove from your time at...
Never mind him.
When he taught you research methods as an undergrad.
Never mind him. I disapprove. I can't stand it. It drives me bonkers. The same thing happens.
Look, if I could
in other
break
areas
into
of my life where the graphs don't look right.
If I could break into the Fitbit
get
app and
very
redesign
upset.
it, I would, but I can't, and I'm not going to lose sleep over that kind of stuff. I've got bigger fish to fry in my life.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
It does
Now, though, does it bother me when I'm doing something in the behavior analysis realm and somebody gives me a graph which does not match those criteria? Oh, hell yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
But, we got bigger problems in this world than running around and making sure everyone graphs the way that I approve of. Just getting people to graph and visually represent data would be an achievement. Not everybody does it. So when they are doing it and you do have something where you can get a good readout and it makes sense, I'm willing to accept the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun tangent.
Yeah.
This should just be the tangent episode.
Tangents.
All right. Well, good luck on your week.
Thank you. Good luck to you, too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we do have one other thing that ties into this getting back on track.
Ooh.
The Red Arrow Challenge.
Yay!
Let's update our weekly winners. And for those who haven't listened, we're 41 episodes in now, people. Now, granted, the first 2 episodes, we didn't talk about it too much, but starting with that 3rd episode, the Red Arrow Challenge is our weekly multi-sport challenge, fitness workout piece. We've got not as many as we had over the summer. We still have active members working on this. Mm-hmm. It's free to sign up, free to get a username. You go and do your exercise, and then you turn in your totals in online, and we give a shout out to the champions in each age group each week on the podcast. Yep. So for the most recent week,
swimming.
Not a lot of swimming going on, but 20 to 29, Gator Boy was on top.
Running.
9 and under, Easy E, 10 to 19, nobody. 20 to 29, Super Mario, 30 to 39, Wildcat, 40 to 49, Sarah, 906, 50 to 59, Johnny B. Good, 60 to 69, nobody, no one older than that. And for our featured members, me.
Walking.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja, 10 to 19, Lucky Dude, 20 to 29, Smitha, 30 to 39, Wildcat, 40 to 49, Vino Mia, 50 to 59, A.R. Miller, 60 to 69, Kilogram Ill. And for our featured members, me.
Biking on-road.
20 to 29, Gator Boy, 30 to 39, Cyclopath, and no one in the age categories older than that.
Biking off-road.
Was a tie, 20 to 29, Smitha and Super Mario.
Sit down paddling.
20 to 29, Gator Boy, 30 to 39, Rando 7, 40 to 49, Tim 906.
Stand up paddling.
20 to 29, H. Kaner 305, and 30 to 39, Wildcat.
Cross-country skiing.
The usual, 40 to 49, El Tiburon 95, and 50 to 59, Big Juan 64.
Skating.
Kind of emptied out, but 20 to 29, Gator Boy.
Hockey.
9 and under, nobody. 10 to 19, Lucky Dude. 20 to 29, Lexi with 2 X's. 30 to 39, nobody. 40 to 49, Coach T. Nobody older than that. And for our featured members, me.
How is hockey taking place?
Well, it's happening. It's Michigan's locked down. The rest of the country isn't all the way locked down. There are options if you know people and places and you're willing to hop in your car and travel.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Points.
But I noticed there is a significant drop off this week. And since, I don't know, we got a bunch of Michigan members. So, because it is some regulars who have been playing lots of hockey suddenly fell off the map on that.
Points.
9 and under, Yellow Ninja, 10 to 19, Lucky Dude, 20 to 29, Gator Boy, 30 to 39, Wildcat, 40 to 49, Sarah 906, 50 to 59, Johnny B. Good, 60 to 69, Kilogram Mill. Featured member was me over you.
Lick it.
It all comes back to lick it. The running gag in your family, the
For
running gag in
sure.
this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, with that, let's just call it an episode.
Okay.
All right. This has been the most recent episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. We drop new episodes every week. Check them out. You can find them wherever you find your podcasts, but also look at our link tree with lots of links on there. linktr.ee/Red Arrow HW. Until next week, though, Jess, it's been fun.
Loads of fun.
Bye.
Bye.